Kia ora whānau. Today I'm going to be walking you guys through how to submit your Certificate of Approval application online through the Ministry of Justice website. Ka pai. So our very first step, jump into Google and we're going to be typing in Ministry of Justice. Awesome. Once you've written that in, hit enter and we're going to be clicking on the first link that takes us through to the Ministry of Justice website. Ka pai. On this website, the first we're going to hover over is the word tribunals at the top, and then we're going to be hovering over our licenses and certificates on the left hand side and giving that one a click. So click on that link, it's going to take you through to this section, and the next step is to click on the one that says Private Security Personnel Licensing Authority. Give that one a click and it's going to take you through to our next page. Sweet as. Next step, click on Apply or Renew, and then scroll down and we're going to be clicking on the one that says Apply for a new license or certificate. Click on that link there and it will take us through to our next stage. Awesome. So in this section it's telling you which documents you're going to need to supply through your application. So make sure we've got these documents available so when we hit apply online we're all ready. So have a read, click on those links if you need more information about them, and when you're ready click on that button that says apply online. Ka pai. Sweet, type our name in and search ourselves up, and we're going to make sure that we don't already hold our full COA. So type in your name just like I'm doing now, and then have a look and see what we've got. So as you see at the top, I already hold my full Certificate of Approval. If you already hold it, it should say status active. Sometimes it might say status expired, or it might say you've got a temporary COA. That's all good. Our next step is going to be clicking on apply online for new license. And now we've got our application form. So here's our online application. Now it's just about ticking the right boxes from here, whānau. So our very first step, click on the one that says Certificate of Approval, and now we're going to be selecting which of these types of work we're going to be doing as a security guard. Sweet. Generally, your employer will tell you which ones you're going to need, or your trainer that did your training for your COA will tell you which ones to apply for at this stage. Most of the time, once you've completed a Certificate of Approval training, a COA course, you're going to be selecting these four: crowd controller, document destruction agent, personal guard, and property guard. Sweet, there's a few other options there that usually those options will require more training and more experience. When you get to that stage you should know, and you'll be able to come back and apply for those later. But the main four you're going to be ticking are the ones that I've just shown you now. Ka pai. Once you've ticked those boxes, now you have to be uploading your record of achievement. So this record of achievement, it should get supplied to you either from the company you did your training with, or your supervisor will have a copy of it somewhere. Now what you want to do is make sure you can locate that file. So usually it'll be in your emails somewhere. When you've finished your training, you get an email copy of your record of achievement. Just go and grab it from there, save it to your computer, and once you're ready, you're going to be clicking on choose file. So have a look through your emails and make sure you've got your record of achievement. That will show your NZQA unit standards, and it will just be the unit standards you got from doing your training. Ka pai. Once you've found that, you're going to hover over the word choose file, give that one a click, and it'll open up your options. Sweet. What I've done is I've saved my record of achievement to the desktop to make it a bit easier to find. So if you've done the same thing as me, click on desktop and you should be able to find it there. If not, just type up the top right hand corner, record of achievement, and it should pop up for you there. So I've added mine into that section. You can see it's got a link for the PSP layer to click on later. And my next step is just clicking on the either no or yes on this next section. This one's asking you if you'd like to apply for a temporary license at the same time as your full COA. Usually you're going to be ticking no for this one. If you are going to be applying for your temporary license, your employer should let you know. If you're not quite sure, just give the PSPLA a ring and they'll let you know which option to select. But most of the time you're going to be selecting no because this application is for your full COA license anyway. So what I've done is I've ticked no, and we're going to go continue, and we're going to move on to our photo section. So in this section it tells you how your photo needs to be formatted and how it's supposed to look. So read through all those prompts and make sure that the photo you've taken of yourself, they meet those requirements. On the right hand side it shows you how it's supposed to look. Got the white background, nice clear background, and it's just from your chest and shoulders upwards. Sweet, so I've found my photo that I've also saved to my desktop, making it easier to find. We've got to make sure that it's saved as either a JPG or a JPEG. Awesome, there should be options for you to choose that at the time that you've uploaded your photo to your computer. So when you hit save as in your photo, it should give you that option to choose. Awesome. So make sure you've saved it as either a JPEG or a JPG, and that should allow you to add the photo in this section. Once you've done that, it shows that you've got your photo added. Click next, click continue, and your photo should show up here. Now it's just your job to make sure you're cropping it how you want it to look. Make sure you can see your face, make sure the background behind you is nice and clear, like you see in this picture, and you can adjust the size however you'd like. So there's my photo, I'm happy with it now, so hit continue, and now we get to our personal details section. So we're just writing our full name in here, first name, then you've got your middle names and your last name. Underneath this section, what you might also notice is it says or asks you, have you been known by a different name? So if you've been married, you've changed your name, or if you've changed your name via deed poll, now is your chance to add in any other names you've been known by. If not, just select no, and then we're going to type in our date of birth, select the gender that you're happy with, and then move on. Are you currently employed? So in this section, we're just ticking, do you have employment with someone already? Or if not, select no. I'll put down my occupation, so I'll write down for myself, I'll just say adult educator / trainer. That's my employment at the moment. And then I'm happy with that. Hit continue, we can move on from that section. And now we're writing in our address. So I'll just type in 123 for now and show you how all the options show up. Once you start typing in your actual address, it should show up as an option. Sometimes it doesn't, that's okay. Underneath the option, if your address isn't popping up, you've got an option to select, click here to enter a custom address. You can fill in the details that way. As you can see, the address that I want has popped up, so I've clicked on it. That's our office address. Click on that one there, and now I've got an option to choose, do we have a different postal address? So if you do have a different postal address you want it to be sent to, like a PO box, that's the section you select. Awesome, now we've got contact details, so they only need you to put in one phone number. Usually the mobile is a bit easier for everyone to keep track of, so making sure for country code, we're writing down our country code, that's 64 for New Zealand. The area code, that's just the first 3 digits of your phone number, so for me it would be 021, it could be 022 or 027 for you guys, but for me 021, so we'll type in 021 there, and then we've got the rest of your number. We'll just put down a bunch of ones for that one for now and move on. Now for our email address, we're just typing in our personal email address or whatever email address you'd like the PSPLA to correspond with you with. So I'll put in our email address there, poptrainingnz@gmail.com. Awesome. Then we've got a section for employers. So if you're an employer applying for a COA for one of your employees, you're going to put your email in that section. If not, hit continue. Sweet as, here is our identification section. So when you get to this spot here, now is where you want to make sure you're writing in the details for the ID that you would like to supply, the PSPLA. So I've chosen my driver's license just because it's a little bit easier than other forms of ID. So we're just writing in our driver's license number. It should be on the very front of your ID, the front of your driver's license, along with the version number. That should also be right next to your driver's license number on the right hand side. Then you've got your expiry date, that should be on the back of your driver's license. So make sure your driver's license is valid. They can accept IDs if they've only expired within the last couple of years, but if it's expired for longer than 2 years, we're going to need a different form of ID. Awesome, or just pretend that mine expires in 2035 and we'll move on from there. When you're ready to submit a photo of your ID, we're going to be moving on down to that choose file section. Awesome. As you can see though at the top, it tells you the different types of IDs you can supply. You've got a section for passport if you'd rather supply your passport. There are more options if you're going to be using an overseas passport. But once you've selected your passport, it will tell you the extra stuff you need to provide. Things like your residency visa and stuff like that. But just because I'm using my driver's license, all I need to do is submit a nice clear photo of the front of my driver's license. Awesome. We can move on to our next section. Okay, convictions. This is very important. We have to make sure if we do have any convictions, any criminal charges, we need to let the PSPLA know. Awesome. There's a lot of information up top that lets you know how to find this out. If you're not sure, you can go straight back to the website and research that. If you want extra help, it's always good to give the PSPLA a ring. Give them a call and they'll let you know if you need to be selecting yes or no for that section. Awesome. I'm just going to select no because I've got no criminal convictions. And then we're going to look at these other options, right? However, if you do have criminal convictions, what it's going to show you is a whole bunch more options for you to go through. and it usually asks you if you have been convicted of any charges within the last 7 years. Right, so just making sure you're reading through those carefully, and like if you do need more information about those specific charges, you've got those blue links on each of those lines. So all of those blue links will tell you which those charges actually mean. It will take you through to a different section of the legislation in New Zealand. It will tell you whether or not you need to be selecting that option. So I'll show you what I mean. We'll click on the one that says Criminal Records Clean Slate Act, and it will take me to a different link, and it will show me the New Zealand legislation. So you can scroll down and have a read through here, click on the different links, and it will tell you more information about that, and that should help you figure out whether or not you need to select that. So I'll just select no for now, and I'll show you what the other options look like. Again, you've got all those blue links that you can click on for more information if you're just not sure. And once you're happy, you can select no or yes for those options. Just for example, if you do select yes for something, it's going to ask you to provide more details. So I'll show you what I mean now. So we've got all these different options. We'll select yes for that one, and it'll give us a little box. So this box here asks you to provide more details. So you can tell your story in that section, and that will give the PSPLA more information to work on. So for example, I'll write down, I lost my COA 2 years ago, and I'll just say it might have been because of an assault charge. Awesome, that's how I'd write that information for them to know, and now they know that I've given them the information they've requested. But for now, we'll select no, and I'll select no for the rest, and then we can move on to the rest of the application. Sweet. Awesome. When you're ready, what we're going to do now is hit continue and have a read through here. This also asks you if you've been convicted of crimes overseas, or if you've had any kind of mental conditions or impairment. So we're going to select no for those ones as well. If you have had any of those incidents happen to you, we're going to be selecting yes, and there's more prompts for you to follow. But once you've completed that form of that part of the form, we'll move over to the full application. It's going to show you all the details that you've actually used or you've selected throughout that process. So have a look through here, have another read through, and make sure, hey, have you filled everything out correctly? Shows you that personal details section. Read through that, make sure there's no spelling mistakes. Look at your employment details and your address, make sure you're happy with all that information. Look through the contact details, have you put the right number in? Make sure you've added the right ID details. Have you filled out the disqualification criteria properly? There's a lot of opportunity to go back. See how there's little buttons that say edit on those sections? If you need to make any changes, click on edit and it'll take you back to that section. Sweet. Now you've got the consent section at the bottom. We're going to be ticking that one because we need to make sure we're giving the PSPLA consent to look through our criminal history. If we don't want to consent to that, that's all good. That just means that we can't proceed with the application. Awesome. So when you're ready, making sure we hit that you consent to the search. Awesome. Once you've hit that button, we're going to be clicking on the button that says Pay Now. Sweet, so read through that, make sure you're happy, hit Pay Now, and now we've reached our payment section. Awesome, so now in this section here, what we're going to be doing is writing your card number down. Awesome, once you're ready, once you've filled out your card details, you're going to hit Submit, you're going to be paying your $227, and your application has been successfully submitted.